What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. I've gotten this question many times, which is why I decided to film a video specifically about the topic. When nothing's working, here's how to keep going. Because the biggest reason why people fail in the early stages is that they get shiny object syndrome, or they just get analysis paralysis, and they do something for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it doesn't work, and then they switch and they try and do this script, or then they try and film this video, or they try out this new strategy, or they think they have to build a team. They're just doing all these different things when they should just really be focusing on the inputs and doing things that people have already done to get the result that they want to get. It's really, at the end of the day, that simple. But this is a huge mindset shift for me, and what worked for me in order to keep scaling and keep going. Otherwise, I would be going through a weekly emotional roller coaster, and the game would end up beating me essentially. So I'm going to jump into some different tips on how to actually keep going when you feel like nothing's working and you're just kind of doing a whole bunch of work and there's very slim to no outcome. So tip number one is just accepting the fact that not every week will be a great week. You need to actually normalize the downs. And here's a quick example. For us, last month, July, I'm filming this right now, August 4th, was a shit month in business from like a revenue perspective. And it has been for the last 4 years straight, just because people travel in July, they go to their cottages, their camps, they're out in Europe, whatever it is. But regardless, I have two different ways to look at that. I can say, okay, that was a shit month. Life sucks, business sucks, this, doesn't work. We did everything we needed to do. And I could just be down the whole time because the numbers weren't where they were supposed to be. The KPIs, we didn't hit them. We didn't close enough deals. We didn't, hit the right cost per book call, and all these other different reasons. But instead of doing that and inevitably hating my life, I say, okay, did I do everything that I needed to do? Did I wake up and go to the gym? Did I take all my sales calls and put in 110% effort? Did I complete the tasks that I needed to do? Was I productive that week? Did I control everything that I could control? Because at the end of the day, what I understand now is that the outcome is going to be the outcome, regardless of what I do. And I've no control over how it's going to work sometimes. 1 week, I might take 20 sales calls and close 7 deals. The next week, I might take 20 sales calls and put in the exact same amount of effort that I did and close 1 deal. So at the end of that week, am I just going to be down on myself and sad and angry, and my whole weekend's going to be ruined because I only closed 1 deal? No, because the week prior I closed 6 and I did everything the same that week that I did the next week. So I just had another great week, but whatever, the outcomes, that's just how business works. So you need to actually normalize the downs and focus on what you can actually control. You can't have these unrealistic expectations that every week is going to be an amazing week, because if that was the case, business and entrepreneurship would be very easy and everyone would just be winning 24/7. There'd be no stress. There'd be nothing. You'd just be winning all the time, which is not the case. So half of business and entrepreneurship is just actually conquering your own mind and the mental aspect of like being happy and positive 24/7. Obviously, there's going to be the downs. Yes, that's not what I'm getting at, but majority of the time, you shouldn't let the outcome control your emotions. The other tip that really helped me was other people already have what you want. And what I mean by that is that people have already achieved your dream goal. So being as stubborn as I am for me, and even where I'm currently at right now, and me looking at the next goals and the next milestones and the next things that I want to do, I know people that have already hit the next milestones in the same space that I'm in that I want to hit. So my brain cannot comprehend or wrap my head around the fact that if Johnny, Sally, Susan have already done it, then why can't I? Like, someone please tell me why I couldn't do it. Now, whether it's going to take a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, I have absolutely no idea. But I know for a fact that if I don't give up and I just keep consistently day after day hitting the inputs that I need to hit, that I don't see a world where I don't hit those goals that I want to hit. Doesn't make any sense in my brain to me. So that's the outlook that you need to have in the beginning stages, that if these thousands and thousands and thousands of other people in the exact same space that I am have hit 5K, 10K a month, have closed their first client, have figured this shit out, then why can't I? And that's the stubborn mentality that you need to have getting into this space, because you're your own motivator. You can wake up tomorrow and decide to do absolutely fuck all and watch Netflix, and nothing's gonna happen. There's gonna be zero repercussions, zero consequences from that, besides just you not hitting the goals that you want to hit, which some people are okay with that. The next tip is that consistency is the only cheat code. If you're doing something every single day, it'll build unstoppable momentum. And there's this one guy that I follow, I think his name's Callum Cover. Shout out to him. I don't know if I pronounced his name right, but he just recently posted a story the day of me filming this, and he said, like, even when you're taking time off, entrepreneurs and business owners are still on 24/7. And that doesn't mean that you need to be going 100 miles per hour 24/7. You can still slow down and take breaks, but even if you're still slowly moving at 1 mile per hour during those break times, you're still keeping the momentum going. There's still momentum going. The second that everything stops and you go stale for a week, 2 weeks, and you just, took time off, or you're not doing anything anymore, that's when shit starts to die. When you're not doing anything, when the momentum stops going. That's something that I realized last year too, when I took like an insane amount of time off. It's just really, really hard to get back into the groove of things. And I'm sure you guys have even maybe noticed that when you're on a roll and you got the momentum and shit's just kind of working, it all just keeps compounding. It's like one big compound effect. Everything just starts to work. You got the momentum on your side. You're closing more deals. Your clients are getting better results. So consistency is truly the only cheat code. The next tip is just trust the long game. Patience and having a long-term vision will beat out the short-term noise. So you need to understand that this isn't just a short-term thing. You're not going to do something for 30, 60, 90 days and all of a sudden, be hitting these crazy numbers. And that's a very, very hard reality to come to when we live in a world where you can go on YouTube and see, all these 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds making $250,000 a month using AI, whatever the fuck they're actually doing. That's great. And I'm sure there's a shit ton of people out there that have just hit these, basically winning the lottery of just running this product or service, whatever the fuck they're doing, and then making $250,000 the next month. But the real hard part of this game is not making a lot of money, but it's staying in the game for a very long time. That's the actual hard part. Because I know a lot of people that have just made a lot of money and then all of a sudden they're not doing anything anymore. They fell off and everything went to shit. So I don't know. You can go and try and, make a lot of money and then just fall off and that's about it. Or you can actually try and stay in the game long. So you need to just trust the long game, consistently do what you need to do. And, that's really all there is to it. So let me know if you guys like this video, if there's any value that you actually took away from me yapping here for the last, 15 minutes. But I'm trying to hit 10K subscribers by the end of this year. So if you can do me a favor, click the subscribe button, like, comment some videos that you'd want to see down below. And also off-campus coaching. It's a program that I've been working on for the last 7 months. It's fully now released. Now, if you run a real estate SMA and you're at that like 5K to 30K a month range and you want to personally work with me, you get everything we've developed for the last 4.5 years, like legit everything, SOPs, our snapshots, literally all of it, and also calls every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with myself, our head of sales, Parker, the COO, Evan, the creative director. You can click the first link in the bio, book in a call directly with me as well. So availability might be scarce because I like to personally take those calls, but if you're interested in checking out, seeing what it's all about, and we can potentially work together, click the link, book in a call, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.